On a rainy Thursday morning, a gentle drizzle washed over the old brick buildings of Mapleview Elementary School. The campus was unusually quiet, the kind of quiet that only happens just before children arrive. The hallways echoed with the soft hum of fluorescent lights, the janitor's mop gliding across the floor, and the distant rumble of thunder. Inside classroom 2B, teacher Mrs. Evelyn Carter prepared her lesson plans for the day. She arranged colorful books on each desk, straightened the alphabet posters on the wall, and placed a small vase of white daisies on her table. Thursdays were her favorite. Thursdays meant story time, and her students loved story time. But on this Thursday, an unexpected story would walk right into her classroom, one no one saw coming. At 7:18 a.m., just as Mrs. Carter stepped outside to photocopy worksheets, she left the classroom door slightly ajar. Outside, the rain grew heavier, and down the sidewalk, slowly making her way through the puddles, was a frail, elderly cat. Her fur was drenched, her steps cautious and uneven. Her cloudy, pale blue eyes struggled to focus on anything. She wasn't following a path. She was following sound, following warmth, following the faint rustle of papers and the smell of shelter. At 18 years old, the cat was completely blind. Her whiskers trembled with every raindrop that hit the ground. Her body was thin, far too thin. Her ribs showed through her wet fur, and her tail dragged behind her like a tired memory. She had been wandering for days, hungry, alone, confused, and here she was, standing at the open doorway of classroom 2B. She pressed her nose forward, sniffing. Inside smelled like crayons, warm air, paper, children's socks, and something she hadn't felt in a long time. Safety. The blind cat carefully took one shaky step inside, then another. She listened. She paused. She moved again. Her paws left tiny wet prints on the classroom floor as she slowly walked past the students' desks. Then she found a soft carpet near the reading corner. Exhausted, trembling from the cold, she curled up on the carpet and fell asleep almost instantly. She didn't know where she was, only that, for the first time in days, she felt warm. When Mrs. Carter walked back into her classroom a few minutes later, the sight stopped her in her tracks. There, lying in a fragile little ball on the reading carpet, was a cat. A very old cat, soaked to the bone, shivering, and something else. Something she noticed immediately. The cat wasn't looking at her. It wasn't looking at anything. Its eyes, clouded and pale, told the story without words.
"She's blind," Mrs. Carter whispered to herself, placing her hand over her chest.
She approached slowly, not wanting to startle the little creature. But the cat didn't lift her head, didn't move, didn't react at all. She seemed too tired to register worry. Mrs. Carter gently wrapped the cat in a warm blue classroom blanket. The old feline let out the softest sound, a weak, grateful purr. And in that moment, Mrs. Carter knew this wasn't a stray. This was someone's lost cat, someone's elderly pet, someone's family member, and she needed help. At 8 a.m. sharp, the children arrived. The classroom buzzed with excitement until they saw the unexpected guest lying on the blanket. The room fell silent.
"Is she hurt? Why can't she see?"
"She's an elderly cat who wandered in during the rain. We're going to help her."
The students gathered around quietly, forming a gentle circle. Even the most energetic kids seemed to understand instinctively. This cat was fragile. A little girl named Lily reached out her hand and asked if she could pet her. The cat reacted only with a soft, tired purr. And that's when everyone realized. She wasn't just blind. She was exhausted, lost, and possibly starving.
"She needs medical help, and she needs it now."
She called the school office, explained the situation, and arranged for a staff member to cover her first class. Then she wrapped the cat gently, placed her in her car, and drove straight to the nearest animal clinic. Dr. Thomas, the veterinarian, examined the cat carefully. His face told the story before he even spoke.
"She's very old, at least 18, completely blind, severely dehydrated, and she's been wandering for quite some time."
Mrs. Carter felt a lump in her throat.
"But she's a fighter. If she gets proper care, she can still have a comfortable life."
They scanned her for a microchip, and to everyone's surprise, she had one. Her name was Hazel, and the chips showed she lived only 4 blocks away. Mrs. Carter's heart sank. If Hazel lived so close, why was she on the streets? Dr. Thomas called the number registered to the microchip. A woman answered. Her voice trembled. Her name was Clara Mitchell. Hazel was her elderly father's cat. He had recently been hospitalized after a fall, and in the chaos, Hazel had slipped out the door. Clara, overwhelmed with hospital visits and work, had no idea the blind cat had disappeared until it was too late.
I thought she would come home. But she never did. I thought she'd died.
Clara rushed to the clinic immediately. When she arrived, Hazel raised her head, barely, but then relaxed when she heard Clara's familiar voice. Even blind, she knew who it was.
I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
Hazel pressed her fragile head against Clara's hand. A reunion, both heartbreaking and heartwarming. But the story wasn't over. Clara explained that her father had been moved to long-term care. She lived in a small apartment that didn't allow pets. Hazel was too old, too blind, too fragile to live alone or in a stressful environment. Clara loved Hazel deeply, but she couldn't give her the care she needed.
Is there a place, a sanctuary for senior cats?
And there was. Mapleview Senior Pet Rescue, the same organization the school often partnered with. Mrs. Carter called them immediately. They agreed to take Hazel. Hazel was brought into a warm, quiet room filled with cushioned beds, soft music, and gentle lighting. The workers specialized in caring for elderly disabled cats. They moved slowly, spoke gently, and treated every cat like family. On her first night, Hazel curled up in a heated bed. Her breathing slowed, her body relaxed, her purring returned. She was safe. She was warm. She was home. The next day, Mrs. Carter shared Hazel's story with her students. They listened with wide eyes, some with tears, some with smiles. They wrote letters and made drawings for Hazel. Colorful pictures of warm beds, sunshine, and little hearts. Mrs. Carter laminated the drawings and delivered them to the rescue. The rescue staff hung them above Hazel's new bed. Hazel often slept facing them, as if she could somehow feel the love in every page, even if she couldn't see them. Over the next months, Hazel blossomed. She gained weight. Her fur grew soft again. Her purring grew stronger. She made friends with other senior cats, and she became a staff favorite. Every week, Mrs. Carter and her students visited Hazel. They read stories to her during their field trips, the same place she wandered into that first rainy morning. The children's voices comforted her. Hazel would curl up beside them, purring peacefully, listening as they read. For a blind old cat who had once wandered the cold streets, this was paradise. 6 months after Hazel arrived at the rescue, she passed away peacefully in her sleep, warm, loved, and safe. The staff informed Mrs. Carter and her class. The children cried. Mrs. Carter cried with them.
But she reminded them of something important. She didn't die outside, alone in the rain. She died surrounded by love, and all of you helped give her that.
The rescue created a small memorial corner with Hazel's photo and the children's drawings. A little sign beneath it read, "Hazel, the cat who wandered into the right classroom." And it was true. In that moment, on that rainy morning, Hazel walked into the one place filled with people who would help her, a classroom full of hope, a teacher with a gentle heart, a school that believed in kindness. Hazel's final chapter was peaceful, because a blind old cat found the right door on the right day, and someone cared enough to open it.